What is up, everybody? Welcome to the GVM channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at how to use the GVM 3-point lighting kit to make your scene go from this to this. 3-point lighting was one of, if not the first technique that I learned when it came to cinematography. And I do believe that it is one of the most common and fundamental lighting technique that you should also learn. Using 3-point lighting technique is a great way to create dimension between your frame and your subject and turn a flat 2D image to something 3-dimensional. Whether you're just getting into live streaming, starting a YouTube channel, or just begin learning about cinematography, you will soon begin to realize just how important lighting is. Lighting can completely change the look and feel of your image. Whether you're shooting on a Hollywood-grade cinema camera or simply filming on your iPhone, you can still use great lighting to create something amazing out of it. So now we're going to take a look at how we have set up this shot for today's video using just one SD Pro 300B and two SD Pro 200B. Typically, a cinematographer will approach lighting a scene a lot like an artist working on a blank canvas. So our first step is going to be turn off all the lights in the scene. Once all of the lights in the scene is off, you are left with a blank canvas that you can have the freedom to throw your lights onto. We call our main light source the key light. This is usually the strongest light in your kit. In this video, we'll be using a GVM Pro SD300B as our main light source. A great place to start with your key light is positioning the light at a 45-degree angle away from your subject. Alright, we got our key lights on. Now the only problem is it's too bright, and we want to dial that down a little bit. Well, there you go. When it comes to adjusting brightness, you have two options. You can either dial down the brightness or pull the light away from your subject. By doing either of this, you decrease the amount of light that are hitting your subject. One of the features that I like the most about the Pro series is that it has stepless adjustment ability for the output power. This gives me the ability to precisely adjust my light output. Alright, the overall brightness is a lot better than before. However, there's a new issue have come up, which is when I look up, there's a pretty bad glare in my glasses. And that could be pretty distracting. So in order to fix this, we're actually going to move the light slightly to the left. It's going to do two things for us. One, it's going to eliminate the glare that was in my glasses. And two, it's going to create a little bit more dimension to the shot by adding shadow to the side of my face. Another thing you guys want to pay attention to is your white balance. You can dial in your white balance in your camera or by changing the color temperature of your light. I highly recommend you to invest in a professional lighting kit like the SD Pro 200B and SD Pro 300B. They give you full control over the color temperature and power output, which makes it so much easier to achieve the look you want. Now that we got our key light dialed in, the next step is to add our hair light, aka the rim light. For our rim light, we'll be using a Pro SD 200B. Typically, your rim light will be positioned high up behind your subject and angled down at a 45-degree angle to wrap around and illuminate your subject's head and shoulders. The purpose of this light is to separate your subject from the background and create more depth to make your overall image more dimensional. With the key light and rim light dialed in, our shot already looks a lot better than before. However, notice how the key light introduced a lot more shadow to the opposite side of my face. This creates way too much contrast. This could be a specific cinematic look or feel you're after. However, this is not what we're trying to achieve. So in order to smooth the shadow on this side of my face and complete our 3-point lighting, we're actually going to throw in another SD Pro 200B as our fill light. Remember, we don't want to absolutely illuminate the shadow. If we lose the shadow, our image will end up completely flat. We want to set our fill light at a lower brightness output, just enough to lift the shadow a bit. Now that we have our key light, rim light, and fill light, the only thing left to mention is practical. Practicals are actually light that can be seen within your image. They're typically light that you're used to seeing in your daily life. For example, a light bulb, a desk lamp, or a candle. They're typically used to light up a certain area or to add a little bit more interest to the shot. For today's video, I'm going to use the RGB light that is on the shelf as a practical. And because it is RGB, I'm going to set it to red just to add a little more interest to the shot. The shot is already looking a million times better than before. Overall, the image is well exposed, the subject is well lit. Well, that's about wraps up this video. I hope you learned the fundamental of 3-point lighting and start implementing this setup into your future videos. Thank you guys for watching. If you find this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. As always, keep learning, keep creating. I'll see you in the next one.